Let's do this.
We're going to start again.
Let's see. Can folks let us know if you can hear now?
I think this is one of those X over Y equals 0.
Let me just,
Mine won't even play.
let me just see if it's on now.
Well, that's fun.
And we don't even have a commercial to cut to.
I know.
Okay, sound is on.
Oh, cool. So should we do that over?
Yeah. I don't know what happened, but go ahead.
Let's see.
Take two.
I feel like I'm an algebra equation. That's how we started it off, saying everything is all up in the air and crazy and nothing is working out and we're always looking for X, Y, Z and nothing matches. So it's like, and here we are having technical difficulties. Such fun.
It is so prophetic for 2020.
So real.
But then again, none of us went into church work to become camera personnel
No.
or video personnel. And so we're trying our best. But we hope that you'll bear with us as we repeat some of what we did.
But you didn't hear it, so it doesn't matter. So
All you saw was us.
it looked like a silent movie.
Yes.
Or maybe a Godzilla movie.
A Godzilla movie.
Love Godzilla movies. But so we look like not look like, it feels like we're in an algebra equation because everything is all over the place, and you were saying that we're all kind of focusing on everything rather than, the normal little things that we would be focusing on.
Yes, because we have to look ahead so we can be prepared. And yet, in that preparation, we don't know exactly what all the variables are going to be. Like take for example, what will happen in the next, 5 to 6 weeks leading up to Advent, and during Advent leading up to Christmas. We take it day by day, and we strive to be flexible so that we can be as positive, because our inflexibility is causing a lot, I believe, a lot of the tension, anger, and rancor that is happening. That does not discount the issues of social justice, of racial justice, of concern for people's health, of dealing with the pandemic. Those are all valid concerns. But our response to so many things has caused us to say, well, it's not the same. And we then get very, very painful. Is everything all right?
Yep.
Just checking with Frank, because he has the whole world in his hands.
Did we start over, or are we still rolling from the first time?
No, we're still rolling from the first time. It's just
Okay.
that the first few minutes had no sound for whatever reason.
All right.
Okay.
So maybe we can talk about that later. So yes, that's everybody's struggling. Everybody's, wondering what's going to happen for Thanksgiving, for Christmas. Are we going to be able to get together as large families, or how are we going to manage that? Up until now, and even still now sometimes, we've been able to meet outside with our families and social distance. But in the winter months, that's not going to be so easy.
Do that.
So we have to see what's going to happen. Now, you were telling us about Saint Pelagia.
Saint Pelagia.
She was in a dance troupe.
Yeah.
Was it Dance Resolution?
No.
No?
It was, no, never mind. Saint
You'll have to tell me
Pelagia.
later.
Saint Pelagia is really shrouded in a lot of legend, pious legend. The titles that you would find her under is Saint Pelagia of Antioch, Saint Pelagia the Hermit, Saint Pelagia the Penitent, Saint Pelagia the Harlot. And all those were part of the story of this young woman who was very good at her craft, we'll put it that way.
Good
who,
for her.
as she was riding past a church, the sainted bishop of Antioch was either speaking to his suffragan bishops, those bishops who, were part of his province, or to his priests. And he pointed out not only her beauty, but the care that she took in presenting herself, and said that all the effort she made in presenting herself should exemplify the effort we have in caring for the Christ Church. And when she heard this and came back to hear the bishop preach, she approached the bishop, asked for baptism, and ended up giving her worldly goods to the bishop to be distributed to the poor. And then she donned a penitent robe and went to Jerusalem to pray and live a very ascetic life. And the name Pelagia means beardless monk. She, because everyone thought she was a monk. They did not know she was a woman.
Even the monks.
Well, she lived in a cave by herself, so she didn't necessarily live in a monastery.
She had a woman cave.
So,
Man cave. Bearded monk cave.
no,
Beardless monk
beardless
cave.
monk cave. But there was no TV on the wall.
Oh, no, certainly not.
Okay. And
She would draw on the wall maybe
she,
for fun.
and soon pilgrims and people seeking spiritual advice came to her.
Well, yeah, I
and-
mean, if somebody's living in a cave, obviously they've got some spiritual knowledge. You're totally gonna go look for that. That always amazes me. Hey, that dude's living in a cave. Let's go talk to him.
Please forgive her. It's that generation. They don't understand the world has changed. People were different back then. Okay.
If I saw somebody living in a cave now, I would go talk to them.
If we saw somebody living in a cave now, we'd probably be bringing them food for Thanksgiving.
True.
Okay. It's a different world. She was part of that movement of so many men and women from the cities of the Roman Empire out into the desert to seek solitude so they could grow closer to Christ, which began the monastic movement.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, and they really only discovered she was a woman when she died. They buried her in her cave, and the early church proclaimed her a saint. And she's revered both in the Roman Catholic Church as well as in the Orthodox churches.
Excellent.
But it's an interesting story of how, without condemning, because the bishop did not condemn her.
Mm-hmm.
He just said, all the effort she puts into presenting herself that way, that's all the effort we should be putting into our ministry to take care of the souls that are entrusted to us. And by doing that, it stirred in her heart and a desire to know who this Christ is.
Yeah, because shaming people doesn't help. And the fact that he, pointed her out, but, treated her with dignity at the same time makes all the difference in the world. Back to your point earlier, where everybody's tearing each other apart on social media. But anyway, thank you for sharing that story.
You're welcome.
I know that the blessing of the animals happened last week.
Oh,
How did that go?
It was beautiful.
Yes.
Deacon Henry did the blessing,
Yeah.
and there was a nice crowd.
Was there?
Yeah.
What kind of animals did we get?
I'd have to check with him.
Oh.
I was sitting on the front of the residence watching all the cars pull up. And
No horses?
I don't think we
What'd
had
you say?
horses.
Dromedaries.
Dromedaries?
No camels, no horses, no bears, no
No bears?
lions, no lions and
Or
tigers,
tigers?
and bears.
No.
Oh my.
And so, but it's always a nice pious act, blessing the animals.
I think it's very nice.
Especially since, especially dogs, because dogs are one animal that has unconditional love. Of course, it helps if you feed them.
Cats too, but the love is for themselves.
Well, the cats,
I love cats. I don't care. They're the best.
they look at you and it says, okay, that's enough.
Yeah, but you have to earn their love. It's not like, dogs are like, oh, I love you, and cats are like, pfft. So you kind of have to work for it. I don't know. Anywho, our small groups have been meeting, the small faith sharing groups with the Reconnect program out of Green Bay, to help deal with and process the quarantine. And those have been going well. We had our first week
this
of
is
those.
really our first week, and I know in talking to Judy Friedman, who kind of coordinated that, she has talked to a few facilitators, and let's just say this small group sharing has been very intense and very positive.
Good.
Very positive. And it's so important to realize so many of our people have, especially our older parishioners, have been alone in their quarantine.
Yeah.
And to be able to process that, 2-3 months. And even now, I mean,
Yeah.
they might come to church, but you just don't feel comfortable stopping over somebody's house for a cup of coffee, or
can't.
or getting together even in a restaurant. I know some people are going to restaurants, but I'm sure that a lot of people have that kind of queasy feeling as they turn around and say, okay, am I far enough from people? And is something blowing on me, from the air conditioner? And
Oh, I went somewhere and the wait staff was wearing their masks sometimes. But then when this guy, when he was cleaning the plates and glasses and stuff, took his mask off, and he was like just a few feet from me, and I'm like, oh no, what is happening? So I put mine back on.
no, I the first time I ate inside a place. Outside I felt very comfortable and I enjoyed it. And I really would like to do a shout out to Moores, because I thought the way they set up their outside dining was very comfortable and very relaxing. And we've been to several other, Father Brian and I, just really nice. Solo was also a nice moment in the borough.
What is it called?
Solo.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so I want to really shout out to all our restaurant people. I know it's been rough. I grew up in the restaurant business. My family had a restaurant for over 60 years. And I don't know what we would have done as a family during this period. But please keep up the good work. And if you can support your favorite restaurant in some way, especially, takeout,
yeah.
or, please do so, because these men and women who own the place, who serve you, who care for you, they do need our support.
And the place that I was talking about was nowhere near Freehold. So.
Yes.
Don't worry about that.
So I think we in Freehold are taking this virus very
It hit us hard.
real.
Yeah.
Because I listen to priests from other areas of the diocese. I listen to people in conversation, and they'll talk about things like people not wearing masks. I really haven't. The worst I saw was somebody who had their mask under their nose. But I have to tell you, even in church, I'll just go like this. The mask comes up, and people have been very cooperative. So that's a big help.
Yeah, I'm still seeing some posts on Facebook where people are saying, oh, don't say that this is our new normal, and that it's quarantine, it's really house arrest, and they're making a big deal about the safety precautions that we're taking. It's still feeling like we're that the government is violating their civil liberties. But I can't imagine anybody in Freehold who has been through what our town has been through still saying stuff like that. But they are. And I saw a post yesterday where it was saying taking the terms that we've been using and changing them around into punishments, which is
well,
such
in a
nonsense.
sense, it is a new normal, and I think the new papal encyclical, Fratelli Tutti, really speaks to that and is a challenge. And I'm looking forward to really delving into what our Holy Father has to say about the pandemic, about human relations, about human dignity, and also the care of creation. I think the pandemic has shown us the brokenness of our systems. And that's across the board.
And the brokenness of our hearts, where we can't be a little bit inconvenienced to take care of other people.
Well.
So confirmation was on Tuesday, and we have another one tonight. Confirmation
did.
went well?
It did. It did go well. I was thinking At one moment during the ceremony, I was having trouble holding the binder with the cope.
Oh, sure.
And then it dawned on me that the person wearing the cope doesn't hold the binder.
Yeah,
There's
usually
somebody
have
in
a
front
server.
holding the binder.
Yeah.
But because of COVID, I'm very uncomfortable with having somebody hold the book in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking right
Sure.
at them.
Yeah.
So that's why I hold the book. That's one reason why we haven't brought back our altar servers.
Yeah.
You know, for,
Hey, what about getting like a little music stand or something to put in front of you? That won't be so.
you know, I'm going to
intrusive.
try that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try
I'm the
that.
idea guy.
You know, and thank you.
You're welcome. That's why I got my master's in pastoral ministry, so we could figure out these little things.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But it went well. I confirmed, because I've been delegated by the bishop, 15 of our class, and now we have 7 other ceremonies to go through.
That's a lot, and I think the fact that you have allowed us to do 8 confirmations, and then what was it? Was it 8 communions
8
too?
communions.
I mean, that's a lot of extra work for you, and I think it's awesome that you're taking that on so that families can be able to celebrate the sacrament together in a safe way. And yeah, I just think it's great.
It's important to keep people safe,
Yeah.
and everything we have done here at the Co-Cathedral has been to keep our congregants and our clergy and ministers safe. And maybe it's because of the roughness that began this whole period for us, that it's real. And I've shared that, you know, with a lot of other people. I said, you know, the virus is very real.
Yeah.
And that's all I really can say. And because it's real, we're going to take every step. And but it works. And I want to give a shout out to Father Rene in Our Lady of Fatima in Keyport. I went to a communal anointing ceremony service in his parking lot, and I'm sitting during the beginning of the service, and I noticed he had a little glass, and he had all his Q-tips in glasses with a little oil of the sick at the bottom. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, that is a great idea. And that's really what I did. We had a glass, we had all our Q-tips in the sacred chrism, and I just went around. Joan was with me with a tray, and I pulled the Q-tip up, be sealed with the gifts of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thanks. Peace be with you and with your spirit. Put it down, went to the next one. And it moved that along very nicely.
Yeah, that's a good
Because
system.
in all our sacraments, we really can't touch. And of course, we're being told that touching should be just for those you've been quarantined with. And in my case, that means nobody.
You and Father Brian aren't holding hands.
No. But and that's one reason why I said in a post that if a vaccine is made available, I would take it. Because for us as priests, our lives are to bring the sacraments to people. And our sacraments are touching people, giving them communion, anointing them for the sick, anointing them at baptism, blessing them, and being able to touch their heads. There's so many moments where the hand is used to give and communicate God's blessing. And that's been a tough moment in this thing, because we can't do it.
No.
And also to be able to sing.
Yeah. Well,
I know.
anyway,
Yes, let's get back on track. Sorry,
we said, where is this going to lead us?
we had no script for this one, but some
Yes,
of
we
you,
do. But we just.
some of you might say, "Is there a script for any of them?" Go ahead.
But we do. But we always wander all over the place. So the novena for the country.
Yes, the Bishops' Conference of the United States has issued a request that all Catholics pray for our country, especially as we move up to Election Day. Our bishop has issued a novena. with a novena prayer, intentions for the days of the novena, and to be followed by an Our Father and a Hail Mary. And we will be posting that. I think no, it's not posted yet.
No.
We will be posting that on our Facebook and website and bulletin, and it is a call to prayer. And with everybody being upset about whatever,
Whichever side you're on, or in the middle going, I fit nowhere,
I
like
know.
myself.
then folks, pray.
Yes.
That's the one thing we can do. And as Catholic Christians, we should pray.
Yeah.
And so this is a wonderful thing to add to your prayers. Also, today, our governor is issuing, is presenting in the legislature a reproductive rights bill. This will mirror pretty much what they have in New York State. And all this is in the fear of the reversal of Roe v. Wade. So we are asking people to speak, to call your legislatures, to ask them really not to circumvent the will of the people, and also to make your opinion known. I mean, everybody's making their opinion known.
To each other on Facebook.
Yes, make your
But
opinion known.
let it be known to the people who can vote on things.
Yes, and but also we will be posting. In fact, I believe you already posted
Yesterday.
the bishop's comment, the bishop's statement. Now, this is the statement of all the bishops of the state of New Jersey, and I want to make this very clear. And please, if you're not one of them, be my guest. This is not directed to you. But if you know somebody who is, Jen posted the statement, okay? So to all the people who have been criticizing us because, well, what are they saying about abortion? They don't speak on abortion. When you posted something on the death penalty. You posted something on...
I've posted several things on abortion as well.
Yes, okay.
But nobody pays attention to that until I post something that isn't that.
Okay, so folks, one person gave us
A like
a like, okay?
on the reproductive legislation.
So where are you? And, and I just hope that the people who are watching us and always criticizing us are not in their basements. But I really am a little perturbed. And also for those who feel that our Holy Father hasn't spoken enough about life, he does. He has, he continues to do so. In fact, in the statement, they quote the Holy Father on the issue of abortion. And folks, it's time we wake up and do our own homework. You can't always depend on, and this is not a criticism of the media per se, but they're not going to focus on issues that are important to us as Catholics. You might not like any of the issues they're focused on, but that's a whole nother issue. But for us as Catholics, we need to find our news, or as people like to say, our truth. I like that, our truth. Yes, this morning I had a whole reflection on people speaking their truth. It's amazing, because your truth might be different than my truth. So you can speak on your truth, but God forbid if I speak on my truth. Okay, that is where we are. So, this is a statement. Please read it. Please share it.
And write to your legislators.
And write
Or
to
call
your
them.
legislatures. And for those in the Diocese of Trenton, which we're in the diocese, our bishop wrote directly to the governor of his disappointment and his concern about this legislation. And at a meeting that I was at, our bishop says that whenever these things come up, he goes directly to the governor's, and addresses it. Now, the governor doesn't have to listen. I mean, trust me, a lot of Catholics don't listen to the church either. So why are we all upset if the governor doesn't listen? You know, and don't say excommunicate them or deny them communion. That's another thing, you know. It's not our job to make them martyrs. And right about now, if any bishop or any priest denies anybody communion, trust me, that person who is denied communion will get the Nobel Peace Prize. So you might not like what you just heard. Pray on it. Our job is not to condemn. We can't even burn them at the stake anymore.
No, we can't. But think about Saint Pelagia.
Yeah.
That's today's feast, and it was that bishop pointing out, what she, not in a judgmental way, but bringing attention to her, and then she was encouraged to seek Christ as a result of that. Condemning does not work.
And it's time we Catholics stop thinking excommunication is a viable weapon.
Right. Okay, now we have two more things.
Yes.
The lighting of the torches.
That's October 31st. For those of you who don't know what the Torches of Our Lady of Guadalupe, it's a devotion that we've begun in the diocese. And I think we have 16 torches this year. These torches will be blessed in a liturgy of the word here at the Co-Cathedral on October 31st at 11 a.m. Due to COVID, it will be some restriction to how many people can come. And it is, and the torches symbolize that Mary, the Mother of God, under the title of Our Lady of Guadalupe, is the bearer of light, Christ, into the world. And then the torches will go through our diocese to different parishes, to different Knights of Columbus Council, to different Respect Life events, and gather at the cathedral the first Saturday of Advent. And so I'm looking forward to it. The Diocesan Office on Evangelization has been working very hard with us in preparing, and it's going to be beautiful. One of the elements of it will be the calling of names of all those who have died during this pandemic.
People who have died in general, or those who have died from COVID?
Both.
Cool. And then we're going to be doing a live stream Advent series. Every Tuesday, starting the week before Advent, Monsignor and Father Brian and I are going to have little activities that you can do with your families, starting with like building an Advent wreath, getting a Jessie tree together. So we'll have lots of ideas for you on how to celebrate the Advent season in your home. So it'll be on Tuesdays at 11 o'clock, live stream on YouTube and Facebook. So look for us there. And then one final thing, a little shout out and congrats to Julian and Kimmy, Carmen and Frank, and little Nico, Suave, Francisco.
No Suave.
Okay. Okay. But Frank, our cameraman and facilities manager, just had another grandchild yesterday. And we welcome little Nico into the world and are so happy for the family, who is also so happy. You should see Frank. He's glowing.
The grandparent glow has not been this strong for many, many years.
Not many, many years. What are you talking about? I watch videos of Colden every day.
And Lion.
Yeah.
No, we really want to congratulate them. God bless. And looking forward to baptizing Nico Francesco, not Suave.
I really want him to be Nico Suave.
Oh, Lord.
But I'm the only one who wants this, so it's not my business.
That'll be his nickname, Suave.
Okay.
Well, if he's like his grandfather, definitely there'll be Suave.
Mm-hmm. And I suspect with Julian there too. Sure.
Oh,
yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
So, but God
Anyway,
bless.
yeah.
Anything else?
Congratulations. No. I don't think
One
so.
last thing.
What?
Blessing Bag Supply Gathering, Saturday,
October the 17th.
October
Yes.
17th.
10
Yes.
a.m.
Oh, thank you. Now you have to register for this online to become a part of it. It will be conducted outside, so pray for good weather.
And maybe Jeannie could post that again, because I didn't see the registration on.
Yeah, she said 180 people maximum. They have to pre-register.
Okay,
Starts
maybe
at
put the
7
link
at 10
on.
o'clock. I don't know. Hopefully, we don't have a link, but hopefully she'll post something.
Okay, all right.
We
Yeah, because
would
I don't
do
have a
that.
link to put up.
But we had, the last time we did it, which was, I think, in August?
Yes,
Was it in August?
it was August 15th.
Okay, yes, the Feast of Our Lady of the Assumption, the Assumption of Mary. The turnout was beautiful, and it was a wonderful experience, and so hopefully we'll do it again. And again, just remember, the doors of the church are open. You can drop off food, non-perishable, please. You can drop off items for the blessing bag, which we post periodically on our Facebook page. And also, we're now taking diapers. We're we're partnering with Deacon Matt from St. Thomas More, who has really made this a focus of his ministry to provide diapers for families who are experiencing financial difficulties. And, trust me, I mean, he told me an infant goes through 12 diapers a day.
They poop a lot.
So, and you can't leave them in their dirty diapers.
No, you cannot.
And because it's not healthy for the baby, and trust me, you'll notice that they're dirty.
Yeah. But also, what they need is always, the infant diapers are the ones that always come in. They still need infant diapers, but they also need the larger sizes.
Yes.
It'll be in the bulletin this coming week, and it's also on Facebook. A little information about that. But you can just bring your diapers and bring them into the gathering area like everything else.
Yes. And and as always, this past Sunday we had a membership drive.
Oh, for the
Knights
KFC, yeah.
For the Knights of Columbus, and give a shout out to the Knights who have been very supportive of us here at the Co-Cathedral and have been very supportive to the church. And so to the men of the parish, if you're not a Knight, consider it. If you are a Knight, become involved. It is a society, a fraternal organization that does a lot of good. And at this time, when everybody's at each other's throats, we need people to do a lot of good.
Yes.
God
That,
bless.
I think, is it.
That's it.
I mean, we've been talking for 35 minutes. You could only hear 20 of them, but
38. But who's counting?
Was it 38? Okay. All right. Anyway, thanks for tuning in.
And we will see you this weekend. God bless.
God bless.